Hello everybody, it's Aaran back from Screenstars and I'm here once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom. Today I'm here to review the 2021 crime comedy thriller. This game's called Murder, a film that is written and directed by Adam Sherman, and it stars Ron Perlman, Vanessa Marano and Natasha Hendrich. Now, this is actually going to be really quite tough to talk about the plot because this film is a bit bizarre to say the least. But the best way I can explain it is it's based on a family. Ron Perlman is the head of the family. He's like this maniacal businessman that kind of has like a grip on the planet through his media and advertising and all this kind of stuff. His wife is Natasha Hendrich's character, who's a little bit unhinged, shall we say. Likes to kill the help. And his daughter, Jennifer, played by Vanessa Marano, is the rebellious one, who is an influencer. She decides to rebel against her family and disappears and takes up with his gang of vigilantes, I guess, in order to get back at society and her family, I guess. But this is one of those films that can be interpreted in many different ways. It's a very difficult film to watch, if I'm being honest, because it's very much it's just so difficult to follow. At least an hour into this film I still didn't really have a clue what was going on. It's a good hour and 45 minutes long, this film, which feels too long to me. Doesn't start making any real sense for much of the playtime. I do understand and I do get that this film is trying to hold a mirror up to society in regards to social media and, powerful business people having like a tight grip on society, stroke the world, and all this kind of stuff. And it's okay, but it's about as subtle as a sledgehammer at times, this film, and it's just too bizarre for its own good. I really struggled to follow it. The film itself needs a roadmap for you to be able to understand it, and I personally don't like films like that, where you go into it and it's all very stylized, and it's all very artistic, and it's all very pretentious, in my opinion. The fact that it's trying to give this message, whether it be political or societal or whatever, it's trying to force these messages out there in what it probably thinks is very stylized and artistic ways. And for me, I just found it a little bit frustrating. I mean, there's some really clever direction going on here. It's really nicely lit. The way it looks is very nice for the most part. Like I say, I've mentioned it a few times, it is stylized. You could argue it's overly stylized. The costume design is very, very interesting. It's all very visual and it's all very interesting to watch, but when the story doesn't match what you're seeing visually, then for me you've got a problem. And it's almost you're watching the film constantly trying to catch up, constantly trying to put the dots together, figure out what's going on. Who are these characters? What are they doing? Why are these vigilantes going round and just shooting people randomly with bows and arrows, and then robbing supermarkets and having underground fights? And it's just bizarre. Honestly, it's very, very bizarre. The Natasha Hendrich character is this crazed woman that just, she's mad. Absolutely bonkers. She just likes murdering people. And I couldn't see where she actually fit into the film. For the most part, even though I understood Ron Perlman's character and what he was representing, I'm not sure what else was the point of him in the film. And the daughter was really just a rebellious daughter. So for me, there's other films that give these sort of messages, but do it in a far better, more entertaining way than this. This film, while visually very, very interesting, is not stimulating in other ways. It just kind of feels like it's a bit pretentious at times, and a little bit over stylized, and a little bit dull. And when you actually strip away all these clever shots and all these lovely shiny sets and these beautiful costumes and the beautiful women, and when you actually strip it down to the basics, there's just no film here. There's nothing of real interest that's going to grab you, hold your attention throughout the film. There were many times I was looking at the runtime of this and thinking, please end, because I just wasn't enjoying my time with it. So unfortunately, guys, this for me is a bit of a dud, and it's a real shame when you consider the talent involved here. Clearly the director has got some talent here. You can tell that by the way the film is shot, and obviously there's some performers here that are very, very talented in regards to acting, but they're not really given anything to work with here. So as an audience member, you're kind of feeling like you've gone out for a nice meal, and you've been served like the worst thing on the menu almost. It's just, for me, just not good enough in that sense for me. So I'm going to give this one actually a 3 out of 10, only because there was nothing here for me to enjoy at all. Not much anyway, and I'm really only giving it the points for obviously the director's got talent here. There's some talented performers here, and the way it looks, it's very stylized. It's almost film noir at times, but the structure and the message that it keeps forcing on you, this film, when you're watching it, it's just, for me, it was too much, and I just didn't enjoy my time with it. So one to avoid, I think, this one, guys.